Hello everyone, this is Sudi Burnett. Welcome to my show Body, Mind and Spirit. In today's program, I'm going to talk about life purpose. So the reason I choose these subjects because for the last 2 months, I have been receiving a lot of emails from youngsters who didn't know what their purpose of life is. They didn't even know what kind of job they should choose or what should they study, and that is really strange. So I decided that instead of answering so many emails, just tell everyone to watch my program on Time TV, and I'm going to break it down so you can find out how you are going to know what is your life purpose. When I'm saying that I don't know what my life purpose is, or what kind of job should I take, what should I study, what does that tell you? That you don't know anything about yourself. Is that correct? Because if I know who I am, why am I here, then my purpose is very clear, right? So I would like to ask you all, if it's possible, to go to my website. Please purchase Spirituality CD number 1 and 2. Also, Love and Awakening. It really helps you to give you a manual to understand why we are here. What's the purpose? It would be extremely beneficial to you. But I'm going to talk to you about myself because I feel like every time we hear a story, we absorb the material better, quicker, faster. And somehow when the education is kind of comes from a story, it just sticks in our mind and we can remember it later on. So for me, basically, at age 5, I felt that I was different. I didn't know why or how, and I was always looking for power. I was a very sharp kid, and I was very strong physically, but also I was looking for a lot of power, and I didn't realize it at that time why I was looking for that, but I'm going to tell you later on. So because I was the last child in my family, in the morning everybody went to college or they left home to go to work, and I was left home alone with my mom. So I started to wander in the garden. My birthday, first of all, till here, I just want to thank you all for sending me all those lovely emails and songs and poems for my birthday. But for those of you who don't know, my birthday is May 17th, so I'm a Taurus, and I am very earthy. I need natures. And that started to show up for me at age 5 pretty much. I used to go in the garden and start to really look at all the different plants and flowers. And I used to collect all different plants, flowers, leaves, and cut them and pretend that I was making a soup. And then I would imagine that people would come to me and I would serve them this soup. So, according to what your religion is, a lot of people don't believe in past lives. I am a firm believer that we come to this world not one time, but many times. But it doesn't really matter if you're a believer or not. I'm not trying to push anything to you. You can just believe whatever you believe. But this is my belief. So later on, I started to become very interested in nutrition. And as you know, my background is fitness and nutrition. I worked as a aerobic instructor for many years, and I work as a personal trainer for the past 18 years. But going back, I really have this interest about nutrition. And after I studied nutrition, I started to do understudy. Bu Ali Sina, He's a legend. He's actually a philosopher, herbalist from many years ago from Persia. I studied his method, how he was working with herbology. I also went deeper into Chinese medicine. Also, Ayurveda, a lot of you probably know, actually Ayurveda is from India, 4,000 years ago, the way they look at the medicine and all of that. So after studying all this thing, alternative medicine, then further for 2 years I studied herbology. And I was extremely interested in herbology. I realized at that time, I was very young, that I would love to live in a house, especially a place that has garden, so I can grow my own herbs and vegetables and tomatoes and cucumbers and all that. I still do. I still live in a house. And I have to get in touch with nature every day. I have to feel the ground. I have to be hearing the symphony of the birds singing and all that. But now going back at age 5, when I backtrack it, somehow at the beginning of our lives, from the time we are born till age 4 or 5, we pretty much have a preview or a memory of what is going to come in what we are calling futures, okay? Or if I can backtrack to my other lives, I will see that I probably were doing this. Sometimes in life, my purpose or the job that I'm doing, it just comes so easily, and I can't really find out, how did I get there? For me, healing was that. Like the first time I remember when a healer was working on me, and she started talking to me and getting some messages and telling me that I was a healer, I started to ask telepathically that, do I need to go to school? And she started answering me back. She started laughing, and she says, no, my child, you have done this so many lifetimes. So that means a lot of times things that just come to us so naturally, so easily, we don't have to work hard at it. It's just like we have done it another lifetime, and that's why it's just so easy when we start getting to do something. So now, going back to all of you guys who don't know how to choose a job and what's the purpose, what is your life purpose, basically I wanted to say that something from the childhood we kind of know and have a feeling. We always have that knowledge or that knowing that why we are here. We just, the minute we get here, we just have an Alzheimer. And if you become more quiet, if you can quiet your mind, and if you can really be in this moment, get within, be still, you can hear it very clearly, that we all here as one. We are all in nature, we are all love and light, and we are here as a community to awaken to that oneness. There is no separation. So when I feel that, as a young child, I always thought that I have to help a lot of people. I have to do whatever I can. And when I told you about that power that I was just so searching to have as a child, later on it just became clear to me. The more powerful I become, the more I can help other people. Power is it could be an extremely good thing, or if we abuse it, it could be extremely bad. But if my intentions are good, and if I'm here to really help humanity, to help others, then I can use that power in a better way. I give you another example. If you are poor, financially not stable, you have less ability to help others than when you are rich, right? because you can help a bigger crowd. So that's why power is another thing, that when I am powerful, when I can reach a lot of people, then I could be more beneficial to others. So now going back to my purpose. If I understand that there is no separation, and I understand my purpose is to help everyone else, then if that's my purpose, my job become kind of more clear, right? Because if you think about it, if you become a doctor, you can help a lot of people to heal themselves or whatever. If you are a nurse, you can help a lot of people. If you are a teacher, not only you teaching the class mathematics or science or whatever, but you can also teach your student year after year. Give them the manual of life. Teach them how to live life. Teach them what is important in life, not mathematics or science or whatever, but really give them the manual of what life is. So there are so many jobs that we can do that could be helpful. You can be a waitress. You could be serving people in a restaurant. You could be a bartender, that people, a lot of people come and they gather there. And with projecting love, having a good conversation, you can pretty much have those people to get benefit from your knowledge. When you listen to someone, a lot of people just want to be heard. So you could be a bartender, or you could be a waitress, or you could be a hairstylist, you could be a psychiatrist. But when you listen to people, just by listening, they feel that there is someone else there, or they are able to talk and someone to hear them, okay? If I add my love, if I project love, if I make them feel important, then I achieved another process. If I start to talk to those people, give them the knowledge, awakening, then it doesn't really matter what kind of job I am doing. I can be going anywhere, any place, and I can just totally change the whole thing, right? I give you another story about myself. I believe it was like 18, 19 years ago. I was working as a personal trainer. I was extremely busy. So I was booked from 8 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon. Sometimes I would just walk out and they were like, hey, where are you going? You still have client. I was like, just give it to someone else. And I was also, when they had like new trainer coming in, they would have to come and work with me for a week. They would follow me up and to see how I talk to people, how I train them, and so on and so on. So I used to work 7 days a week because I was workaholic. And I have to tell you, when we do too much of anything, we're going to burn out. It doesn't matter how much we love it. I love training people because while I was training with people, I was just contributing something. I would hear their problem. I was there for them. You know, I would give them the knowledge, how to eat, how to work out. You know, I would give them tips. In the same time, I was life coaching them. So it was very interactive. I was enjoying it. I was loving what I was doing. But when I started doing that 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day, I just felt I was burned out. And it wasn't fun anymore. So it's really funny that the minute this happened, I had a major accident. I talked about this in my spirituality CD number 1. I had a major car crash, then I went through windshield. So I left this world. I left my body and near-death experience. And the minute this happened, I felt extremely light. I was like, oh my God, this is so great. So finally, I get to leave and don't have to worry about anything and all the stuff. But I don't know, for sometimes I went into a coma. And then I realized I got a notice that I was coming back to my body. And I started begging, please, please, please don't send me back. But then it was very clear that my job wasn't done on this planet. And there was still more lessons for me to learn and more responsibilities. So anyways, after I came back, I decided to downgrade my lifestyle. And I went to a very small city. So the first day or second day I'm driving around, I'm trying to buy some bread or something. At the time, I'm vegetarian, extremely health conscious. And I'm going like store to stores. Don't you have a bakery here? No, there's no bakery. So I couldn't find any good bread. And I decided that I'm going to go to a library. I borrowed a lot of baking books. I brought them home. I started searching. And then I went and I purchased the material, quintina and whole grains and, this and that. And I started to work for a whole week. I was working on different recipes. So after a week, the house started to smell like dough. It was like dough going around everywhere. And I was baking, putting this and trying to make muffins, and nothing was raising. So my breads were flat, my muffins were flat. So after a week, I started to have a conversation with God. I was like, you know how stubborn I am. I'm not going to give up. So why don't you help me and make this recipe happen? And boom, suddenly the miracle happened. I started to have the breads started to raise, the muffins started to raise. And then I went to a bakery and I asked one of the bakers if I gave him a recipe, would he be willing to make breads for me? And he said yes. All of a sudden, when we are open to the universe, like we are listening and we are not so busy talking, and we are quiet enough to hear and get the message, suddenly I got the message that I should go door to door and start selling stuff. So I went and I purchased, before I have to backtrack, before I did that, I started to make some sandwiches. Imagine you're going to a small city that people don't know what sprouts are used for and whole grain breads and this and that. I started to make some great sandwiches with whole grain breads and avocado and turkey and sprouts and different greens on it. And I made some fat-free muffins and stuff. So I went to the health ministry to get a license. And I told them, I said, I'm very new in this town, and I was just searching and going around, and I thought that I could be helpful, and it would be beneficial for people to eat healthier and have more knowledge about this thing. So I would like to become licensed so I can sell food. And they tried the muffins, and they were like, really? This is non-fat? It tastes so good. And they tried the sandwiches, and it was like, oh, my God, amazing. So in a very short time, they just gave me the license, and I started working, going to door, selling to people food. And after a week or two, I started to get so busy that I thought I need help. So I went and I hired a couple of Mexican guys, and then I asked them if they had like wives or sisters or something who could help. Then the universe gave me another hint. Go to the church and rent their kitchen. So I did that, and I did that for about 5 or 6 months. After I felt like I was creative enough, I just created something. Then I thought to myself, you know what? This is not my job. This is not my calling. So I started back on training, and also started to go to high schools and teach nutrition for free. So I did lectures for free for a while, and then in a matter of, I believe, year and a half, I thought my mission was over. Then I came back to Los Angeles. The reason I'm telling you this story is because you could just be doing anything. You could start off with anything. You don't have to have anything to start a business. You don't have to really have a specific job. You don't have to be a doctor or a nurse or anything to be able to help people. You could be just you. If your intention is to help others, that's your purpose. Your purpose is very clear. Just to bring the unity back together, bring the community back together, give everyone the knowledge, whatever you have, whether it's helping them, giving them a helping hand, if you are able to share your knowledge, if you are able to teach whatever it is that gives you that desire, it would be beneficial. So if you guys are still confused about what is your purpose, listen to this program one more time, and also listen to Spirituality number 1, 2, Love and Awakening. Success CD, it's like number 1 to 75 or something points on what to do to be successful. But anyway, guys, like I said before, we always get distracted by many things that have no purpose and no importance in our life. Don't get hooked up with or sidetracked. See the main road and just hit towards that direction. And in order for you to become clear and see the end, you have to be quiet. It's in being alone, the time that I'm spending with myself without any distraction, whether it's computer or TV or this or that or all these devices that we have today. When you start to meditate, when you start to create that quiet time to be with yourself, with daily meditation, you gain the ability and power to be thoughtless or with less thought. And when you are thinking less, you create that space of nothingness. And in that space of nothingness, where you can get all your answers and you can really, really, truly know what is your purpose in life. So guys, my time is over. I'm really glad that have you guys watching my program and starting to send me emails. You can send me email for those of you who might be watching this program for the first time. You can send me an email to sudiyazdi@yahoo.com. On Facebook, you can watch Time TV show and also Andisha show. Add me up as your friend, send a request friend, Sudi Burnett. And also, if you guys want to hire me as your personal trainer to help you achieve your ideal weight, or you want to hire me as your life coach or healer, you can also send me an email, sudiyazdi@yahoo.com. And I want to thank you all for recommending other people to watch my show and my program. I am constantly getting a bigger audience, and I think this is extremely important because of the timing that we're in. Everything is moving on so fast, and we need to awaken right now, okay? So I want to thank you all that recommending me to other people to be working with them as a life coach or a trainer or watching my show. So thank you all. Love you, and I shall see you next Saturday. And also, like I said before, go to Facebook and you can watch all this program at your convenient time. Till next Saturday, I love you.